manifesto. If there's anybody watching, affiliates who could be voting on Wednesday, what's your message?
My message is we need change. We need change now. The status quo right now is very negative. It means no development, which is not happening. Universities not been given the support that they need. Kenya Cup has no sponsor. Nobody is looking at the union of increasing revenue. It's all traditional thinking. It means there's no super series. It means that the Kenya rugby team is not going to make it to the World Cup. That's the status quo we're talking about. It means Safari Sevens will die completely. It just means negative things. I don't want to be the prophet of doom, but I'm saying it as it is. It's unfortunate that we have gotten to this level, but I'm true to the task. I'm up to the task, and I'm here. I'm going to be a working chairman. I'm just a phone call away. I'm hands-on. I'm going to personally intercede for the clubs, and I'm going to make sure that in 2 years, the results will be seen. And we also need to change the constitution. Our current constitution is a very political constitution. It's actually unconstitutional when you look at the elements in it. This union has not attempted to change anything. When we were in office, we had constitutional conferences to change the constitution to be in line with the Sports Act, to be in line with the regulations of World Rugby. This union is very happy with it because it's a very political constitution just made for politicians. But next week we're going to beat them at it with the same constitution, and we look to changing it as soon as possible so that it's a progressive constitution for posterity. So vote for change, vote for my team next week, and let's build this game.
There was so much optimism when Richard Onwella won that election, came in, and he did have a hugely successful, well, largely successful first term in office. In fact, you were his vice chairman at the time. It really has turned to disappointment, so to speak, his term as chairmanship.
Yes, when Richard came in 2015, I'd stood back from the election because, and I even talked to him and said, I wish you all the best because there are vultures in that board, and he agreed with me, but he took up the mantle. In 2016, a number of those directors were removed. So we were quite upbeat, but in the last year nothing has happened. Actually, in the last 2 years, in his full term of office, he's been very laid back. People don't even know him as chairman, He's only met Kenya National 15s team once in 2 years. And if you're serious about making it to a World Cup, we need more involvement.
How confident are you that should you be elected, you won't get interference?
If you've got good leadership and you're interested in what you're doing, you're going to be hands-on. You have to appoint the right people to do the right job. The job for the players is to play on the pitch. The job for the coaches is to coach, and they have to be given the support. The job of the directors is policy and also getting funding.
How sad is it? Of course, Kenya National Sevens team struggling at the moment. They're in 12th place, but surely with the caliber of the players we've got, we should be in a higher position. But then you hear behind the scenes all the problems. They're playing still without contracts. They haven't signed their contracts. We saw the problems with Ian Gibbons, the strength and conditioning coach who had to resign because of payment issues. He was complaining about payments being delayed. Yet we've got this huge sponsorship with Sport Pesa.
Yeah. Well, Kenya Rugby, the stories, these days you just need to start the paper from the back and see what's been written there. The Kenya Sevens team is not getting the support it deserves from the union. We have union directors interfering with selection, with policy, as you're saying, the contracts. So the playing unit is not happy. In any organization, the most important people are the workers. For us, in Kenya Rugby, the most important unit are the players. If they're not happy, you're not going to expect results. In an organization, when you have a high turnover of staff, that shows that there's a problem. If you look at Kenya Rugby, technical staff, coaches and everything in there, the turnover is immense. It's just one new unit every year. That shows there's lack of leadership. It's a circus, and I just say when you have clowns, all you can expect is a circus, and that's what's happening now. We need to vote out this office, bring in new people with fresh blood, fresh ideas, and with the game at heart.
Looks like it'll be quite a fight for you because we're already hearing about the Caucus, the Kenya Cup Caucus, choosing to vote Richard for re-election.
Well, that's neither here or there. Myself and Richard and Pape were called in on Monday to talk to that caucus. And I told them, you may not like what you're going to hear from me, but for me the caucus is a special interest group. And originally the intentions were noble. They came together to look for sponsorship for the Kenya Cup, which is the premier rugby league in Kenya. And now it has morphed into a political body.
Does it worry you, though, if they're choosing to vote for Richard?
I don't think they will. I think the people on that, some of the people there are open-minded. They have seen my track record. I've played with a few of them as well. And I think they may just be coalescing here just for politics, because they also have candidates that they would like to go in. But I think at the end of the day, on the evening of 22nd, Kenya Rugby will have new leadership, and that new leadership hopefully will be myself with a team of good directors.
Safari Sevens, you of course have been talking about it. I was at the event last year. It had a lot of problems, and of course lack of attendance was one of the factors. It's been mentioned for a long, long time that Kasarani is not the right stadium for rugby. What are your thoughts on that? There's talk about it returning back to Ngong Road.
It's not the location. You can get there. There's a highway, and we have people who want to watch a spectacular event. As long as it's well organized, as long as you bring in teams worth, the big name teams to come here, Kenyans will come out and watch. We're the best supported side on the 7th circuit, and of course the biggest support is here at home. So I don't think Ngong Road would suffice with the numbers. We'd be shortchanging our Kenyan spectators and fans. So we just need to look at the best place.
What happened last time in the last elections where Richard was elected? At one point you were going to run, then there was allegedly a court case that happened.
So the time has come again. I've taken up this call. Clubs are up in arms, players are up in arms, and the biggest stakeholder in rugby are the players and also the fans. What I'm saying here in my manifesto is it's player-centric. We are focusing on the player who is forgotten, and we are here to take care of the interests. And I'm also saying it's time to reach our true potential. This is 2017 and we are regressing. So I've always said I'm up for a challenge. When things are easy, they're boring. I don't find easy things quite challenging. I like a challenge.